It's your fave, Beauty Sleep. We're going to talk a little bit today about the making of The Whole Damn Cake album that came out a few months ago.
We're going to take you through all the songs on the album. We want to talk a little bit about how we wrote them and how we produced them as a songwriting production duo, and just take you behind the scenes of what it takes to make such a crazy record.
This is how you bake the cake.
Nice.
Right down the camera. Unreal. We don't talk about it.
We don't talk about it. This song is about being flirtatious. It's a really playful pop song. We had the words "we don't talk about it," which is just really fun to sing. Like, we don't talk about it. There's something in the phonics of that is just very fun. It actually was a demo that we thought was kind of okay, and then we reimagined that in the studio. We can probably take you through that. And once it got a lot vibier, we were like, maybe this should be about sexy vibes, because a big part of the journey was like embracing feeling a lot more free with our sexuality, going to a Catholic school and being a young woman in her 20s in the music industries in the mid 2010s was like a fully traumatic experience. So being able to like claim being like feeling yourself and being sexy is really empowering. That's a conversation we'd have all the time. Like, why don't we lean into that for this song? But it is a really playful pop song, so it is really just a bit silly and a bit fun as well.
Well, it's sort of the similar to Big and Bad, and that like what we're talking about is quite serious, and
but we're being very flirty about it.
Yeah, you can be silly when you're serious, and serious about being silly.
Yes,
I don't know.
That's definitely our memo.
Yeah, in the studio it kind of felt like some horrible like mid 2010s indie landfill song. It was just like boom ba ba dum boom ba boom boom ba ba dum boom ba, and then we just slowed it down massively. Like right before we were recording drums, everything was like set up. It was kind of chaotic. We're kind of chaotic. I had this like low baritone-y guitar I was playing because it reminded me of like a Wichita lineman, or you know that song, when you're in love with a beautiful woman. Yeah, so that, and then like a little electric Fender Rhodes or whatever, and drums, and bass, and it was like, this is done.
And then the lyrics we don't talk about it, and so we thought, what if it's like we're, grew up going to Catholic school, and definitely there's a lot of repressed sexual vibes there, a lot of shame. A friend of ours said he listened to like early demos of the album, and he said it's like you just trying to throw the shame cloak off from everyone here. It's being like, get rid of it. Well, if we don't talk about it, feels like something that people would say about sex and sexuality whenever we were growing up. So we just lent into it as like, what if that was really hot though? Do you know, like I mostly just say we don't talk about it, and then allude to sentences that could be construed as like, go on, say it. But it's obviously, it's in the tone of how I'm saying it. It's not in the words. What I'm saying words wise is nothing. The whole feeling is
like, is there a vibe here?
Yes, that's the feeling. Is there a vibe? We're not sure.
It's that in between, that kind of like, it's not binary in that regard. Like it's like the weaving around, which is like the most interesting place. It
was
that's
really
really
fun
excitement.
recording vocals. It was like how silly can we be with this?
So that's very silly.
Yeah. That's we don't talk about it. Yeah. But we'll take you through the session, and maybe we'll show you some of those earlier demos. Honestly, the first demo of this sounds so different from the last demo. I think the rewrite in the studio totally shifted what it was about, and we kind of followed our nose with that, and that's how it ended up here.
Okay, so I haven't heard this demo in ages. Ryan found this demo and he said, let's listen to it live on camera and see what happens. So more elements in it than I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was like a shit sort of indie dirge track, but it's actually a little bit more charming version.
Oh, there's solos in here and everything. Alright, I'm giving ourselves shit. We had it totally sussed out.
Like Ross was literally at the drum kit. I was sending him the like demo of this without the drums in it to record to, and it just wasn't happening. And then we like completely redesigned the entire track after this point. It's 12 BPM slower. It was built around a bass line.
The bass line is in there, so I think we must have just slowed it down in track. This was one of those songs that we really hadn't finished writing it, so it makes sense that we were so free to be like, this isn't working, let's slow it down. It's so much slower and groovier. And that guitar part really made a big difference.
I've always wanted a real baritone guitar, but it's just me down trouble with the low strings of a Telecaster.
So nice.
The spring reverb, Fender Twin vibe.
There's a lot of spring reverb. I do think the thing that makes the track is that... Oh, is it still in there? Maybe that's just in the demo.
Yeah.
It is on the on the snare, that makes all the difference to me.
At a certain point, I wanted to put a lasso in this, like.
That would have been good. And actually, what I think probably makes it is the acoustic guitar. I think if you muted the guitar here, it's the acoustic guitar. It's rubbish. Listen to this. There's something on my mind. Those are the words. Let's listen to that again. It's always on my mind. Strangers don't mind. It's so nice. So my main memory is that like this song, just all the bits came together in such a lovely fashion. I was just reminded listening to that as well of this gorgeous Juno part that you just suggested putting in right at the end. It's so cheeky. It's so cheeky underneath the vocals. Do you want to talk about some stuff? I feel like I'm stealing all of the interesting things.
Yeah, sure. It's funny, even like the acoustic, that was the first time I'd ever recorded it, maybe.
Yeah, we recorded it in here. I have a photo or video of you doing it right in that spot with this microphone, in a scarf probably, because it was winter and we were freezing.
It was, yeah. Just stuff like this too, I think, really help in the track. The kind of just kind of keeping the interest. You know, I think the initial thing was that's been acoustic chords, but then it became like a whole different. I've just heard another fun moment here. Is there a massive filter sweep over this whole section? Yeah, big old filter. A little bit of automation, classic. Bit of saturation, hey, why not? Yeah, there. You know, just you know, subtle stuff. I've muted whatever kick sample used to be there, so this must be pretty honest, is what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, there's this.
Yes.
Which is just metal through a spring. Metal on metal. Wow. In fairness, the bass is like just totally a loop. I don't think I re-recorded it properly.
I remember that you didn't, because I remember going through and specifically editing the loop ever so slightly, because the drums aren't a loop, so that it was very in pocket. Because we were really, as you said, I don't know why we didn't just re-record the bass.
Yeah, I think maybe because it was after like
the tracking days that we had done already.
Which is thinking like a nice amp sound and stuff, and it was like, you know, fuck it, let's just retain it, because it kind of made the track.
The groove, the feel of this song is really pleasant. Like, it's a really nice instrumental pocket feel, even though it's all done like randomly capturing a loop or trying to slow it down in the moment and then like editing things on top, but it does feel really nice. Talk about the guitar solo.
Oh yeah, so at the end,
which we love.
This is our dueling solo moment live.
That's a little Fender Rhodes and your low baritone guitar doing the same.
Bit of Selena again.
I think that sounds so good. Arguably the reason I wanted to keep coming back to that track is that solo. So satisfying.
For me, whenever the solo happens, it is that feeling of thematically we're vibing together.
Yeah.
You know, you get it.
There's a vibe.
So, there's a vibe.
A few people have said to me, I thought that was Ryan humming the solo instead of the low baritone guitar, which I think is quite nice. It's tonally very delicious. I love the sound of this song.
It's maybe one of my favourite songs. Just sonically, I like. There's not too much in it. It all sounds like quite nice and well arranged.
It's one nice theme. Are you going to do all the breaths in the middle as well? We did that.
We'll come back to that. I was going to shout out the end, because I think when we recorded it, we were like, I don't know how the song should end yet, because we hadn't really. So we reshaped the whole thing in the room while we were about to hit record, and then I think Ross just went whatever to get out of it, and then I chopped that into, and then did a massive filter sweep, obviously.
Yeah. We don't talk about, we don't talk.
So yeah, that felt right.
What's the thing that I'm thinking of that's like the rumour that there's like
a Guns N' Roses?
Guns N' Roses track where they're like...
It's not a rumour.
It's not a rumour. Well, you don't know, you weren't there.
Oh, right. Well,
but,
yeah.
But we thought we'd start that rumour with this song, though it is just me breathing heavily into a microphone, which actually was really hard to do, to get right. Like, there's so many takes of this.
Good
Very,
job.
you've got to be very rhythmic, it's got to be very specific. So I quite enjoyed that as well.
So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about it. Pretty straightforward, all things considered. Not so much going on here. On to the next.